If your organization uses the Track It Forward calendar to coordinate volunteer opportunities, you have a couple options to ensure volunteers receive credit for their participation. RSVPing to an event on Track It Forward does not automatically count the hours towards their timesheet. The volunteer will need to log hours after the event, or the organizer will need to log hours on their behalf. This allows you to compensate for volunteers who may register for an event but not actually attend. If you want to review which volunteers have already logged hours for an event and which ones still have hours pending, you can go to the event page and then go to past events. Here you will see the option to verify hours for a specific event. Underneath it you will see how many shifts for that event have already been logged. Next you will see a list of the volunteers who registered for the event through Track It Forward. The way that the volunteer appears on the list may look a little bit differently depending on whether or not they've already added hours to the system themselves. Let's start with demo user 10. Underneath their name, you will see that this user logged 4 hours around December 21st. This is the same date as the event in question. However, if you click the plus symbol, you will see a little bit more detail. It looks like this opportunity was a fundraising event, but the event that we're verifying is the after-school program. So it seems like it's likely this volunteer just happened to have 2 opportunities around the same day, and it's not actually the same event. Alternatively, if we scroll down to demo user 19 and click this plus symbol, you will see that they logged 1 hour around December 21st and labeled it after school program. Since we're verifying hours for the after school program, this seems like it's likely the same event. In this case, we can click associate to tell the system that the volunteer already logged hours for this event and received credit. Finally, you see the last user on the list logged hours, and there's an option here to approve. If we click this plus symbol, you will see that these hours were already associated with the event in question. Let's take a look at the volunteer hour log to show you why this would appear this way. When the volunteer goes to their hour log, they have the option to click pre-fill from an event. This lets them select an event that they registered for through Track It Forward, and their hour log will automatically be completed based on that event information. If they submit their hours this way, then the system knows that they are adding hours to the system for a specific event on your calendar. If this is the case, they will show up this way on your list. The hours are already associated with the event, you just need to approve them. Another thing to note, since these hours are still pending, if you would go to the approval dashboard of your organization, you would see the same submission here. If you approve the hours through the approval queue, they would be updated on the event page. If you verify the hours through the event page, they would be updated on the approval queue. It's the same submission, it just is going to appear differently depending on how your organization verifies and approves hours. Now, the remaining volunteers on the list did not log any hours themselves through the system. In this case, you can decide if you want to give the volunteer credit for the full shift if you know that they participated, or if they were there longer or left earlier, you can adjust their time accordingly. If you need to remove anybody from the volunteer list because they didn't participate, you can go back to the original registration page for the event and delete them. If everybody's hours look accurate, then you can log hours on behalf of all of your volunteers. This is an easy way to make sure that everybody receives credit after an event and no hours are left unaccounted for. After all of the hours are verified, you will notice that if you go back to the event page and go to past events, you will see completed next to that event. This is an easy way for you as the organizer to ensure that all of the volunteers who participated in an event are receiving credit for their hours afterwards. If you have any questions about verifying hours through the event calendar, contact our support team.